Alrighty, welcome to this episode where we will cover a range of mobility techniques and strengthening techniques for golfers. Now, this can be for any sort of golfer, if you're advanced or if you are a beginner. So the first things we're going to cover are to do with the core, the glutes and the hips. Strengthening those, and we're going to cover a glute bridge, a Copenhagen plank and a side plank. So for the first one, we're going to do a bridge. Now, what we're going to do is set up both feet on the floor, hands by the side, and we're going to push up through our heels, pushing our hips to the roof.
Usually I would say Tuesday is good, but I can't do next Tuesday, unfortunately.
Now, following that, what we will do is a side plank. Now, side plank will engage a lot of our, or either side of our bodies, so the side of our leg, our hips, and our core. So what we'll do from that is in a position of either bent knee, so like such, or to make things a little bit harder, we bring our legs straight and we push up like so. What we don't want is our hips to be dropping. Keep them nice and high, nice and tight through the side, and holding that for 20 seconds per side. Now, the final one that we're going to do is a Copenhagen plank. These are a lot harder. They're going to work mainly on the inside of the legs and as well as our core stability, as mentioned. So, again, two different ways we can do this: knees bent or knees straight. So, knees bent. We're going to push up through our hips and hold. We can make it a bit harder by bringing our leg down, or we can turn this into a repetition type exercise. So coming up, coming down, up and down. Or we can hold that. Again, to make that a little bit harder, we can bring our feet straight or our legs straight, and we're going to come up like so. Okay, so the next thing we're going to cover is the core and our rotation. Obviously, when we're going through our drive, our golf swing, what we're going to do is we're going to have our golf club, and we're going to come up, whichever side, to the left, or we're going to come up to the right. So a good way to strengthen some of these core muscles is having a weight. Now, what we can do is we get into our golf stance. So however far away your feet are, we get into that hinge, and we're going to have our weight. So I'm a right hand person, so I swing with my right hand. We grab the weight in our left hand, get into our hinge position, and what we're going to do is rotate to our favoured side. So for me, that'll be to the right, like so. And what you'll find is that you're recruiting a lot of muscles through that core, and you'll actually feel a rotational pull from those core muscles. So essentially, what we're trying to do is strengthen our position to come up. So as we come up with our golf club, we're going to build that resistance power to then be able to drive downwards. So again, same thing, hinge through those hips and then rotate. And so for me, I feel that across the body like so. Same thing if you're a left-hander, rotate to that left side. This next exercise is going to help with maintaining control through our swing phase. So it's going to also help with rotation through our mid-back and through our hips. So control and rotation. So again, what we're going to do is we're going to have a Swiss ball against the wall, and we're going to rotate and improve that ability and control through those hips and through that mid-back. So we can do this in two different ways. One, just the hips. And what you'll find is that you might be better, obviously, on your preferred side. So for me, it's that right side. So every time I'm going to that right, I'm obviously a little bit more loose, have a little bit more mobility in that. And that's obviously because I come up with my club and I swing downwards. The second way we can do this is having the ball against the wall. And if you need a stick or a golf club, this can help assist you. So we're going to have that ball just sitting above our lower back, lower pelvis, on that pelvic sort of line, so right at the hips here. We're going to set up our feet in our position that we'd normally set up for in golf in our swing, and we're going to hinge through that hip as if we're preparing to swing. So what we can do, golf club or stick along the shoulders, and what we're going to do is rotate. So obviously what we want to maintain is if when we're rotating, we move with our hips, our knee comes in a little bit, we're having that motion through those hips and through those shoulders and that mid-back. And we're allowing our bodies to control that motion and build that stability for when we obviously go through our golf swing. Once you get a bit better at that, then you could practice with a golf club. So coming up like that, coming back. Cool, so for our last exercise, what we're going to do is help improve our ability and mobility and stability through our mid-back and shoulder rotation. So what we want to do against the wall is obviously have our feet set up how we would normally have our stance for golf. Hinge through those hips. We're going to have our arm against the wall, depending which arm you mainly swing with. And so for me, I swing with my right arm, so I'm going to have my right arm up against the wall, my opposite hand against, and we're going to rotate through this way. So I'll demonstrate that now for you. This is a good way to help loosen up in the morning just before you go out for golf, or as a drill to help when you're at the gym.